everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maticus Valentine Cole. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about another requested topic from one of my Instagram followers. She wishes to remain unnamed, so I'm going to respect her opinion on that. But I want you to know that I love you, okay? And I love all of you. And first I want to thank everybody who's been subscribing to my channel. We're now up to 58 subscribers, and that makes me feel so good. And thank you so much for those who are coming on board. And I want to give a special shout out and a thank you for those who have been consistently supporting this channel and having fun. And I appreciate that. And that's particular for Erica, Steven, Dom, and Melissa, and Valisa, and many more. If I don't name you, it's not because I'm not acknowledging you, but not too many people of you leave comments in the comments below. So, and I've actually got two Ericas who support my channel. So thank you guys. And but today it's gonna be, and I need you guys to bear with me and don't cut out in the middle of the video. The topic is about depression, and I was thinking about how I was going to work this. Was it going to be a PSA? Was it going to just be a seminar? Ooh, exciting. I was trying to figure out how to format it. And so, but ultimately, I really couldn't think of the best way. There's just simply a means to just tell you about it. And I can only tell you about it from my own personal experience. And so, this is very personal stuff, guys, so I'm going to, probably pause, jump, cut, a lot, so, alright, so I think first things first, let's start off by simply defining it. According to Wikipedia, depression is a state of low mood and aversion to activity that can affect a person's thoughts, behavior, feelings, and sense of well-being. Now, that's a very clinical definition, and it does cover the basic mechanics of it, but I don't feel that it actually covers the full extent of what depression is. First things first. Depression does not look like this. Depression looks like this. And believe it or not, for someone who does suffer from depression, of which I'm one, I was diagnosed with bipolar depression when I was 8 years old, also with attention deficit disorder. And whenever I got the diagnosis, I was young. I didn't quite understand, because a lot of people had my teachers and my parents didn't know what to do with me a lot of the times, because I showed signs of high intelligence. Yeah, me. And but I wasn't doing well in school, and I understood my subjects, and but it was really a struggle for me to do my homework. And a lot of times, some members of my family thought I was just being lazy. And in retrospect, in fairness, I'll say that is true just a little bit. Love my empathy. But a lot of times, the people who suffer depression, this is a good day. Bad days look like this. Or they look like this. And what I'm trying to illustrate is that most people, and I'm talking about your normal John and Jane, Q, Smith, Jones, whoever, everyone has their happy days and they have their sad days. Everyone has their their default emotional setting, okay? Their default emotional setting There are people who have a happy demeanor. Some people are very cynical. Some people are very angry. Some people are just whatever. People who suffer from depression, though, we can feel happiness, but it takes an effort. To us, happiness isn't an automatic response. It's a conscious decision most of the time. Sometimes, yeah, we can just be happy for no reason, but that's rare. Most of the time, our moods are very dark and very not cynical and not even negative, but they can be very self-deprecating. I mean, of all the people that criticize me for one reason or another, my harshest critic has always been me. Not you, me. And there are times that I have to really tell myself, I'm not that bad. I'm actually okay. I've got things to be grateful for. I've got things that are going to be fine. That this pain that lives inside me 24/7, 7 days a week, is just a feeling, but it does not rule me. I am the master of my emotion, and my emotion is not the master of me. Those are the kind of affirmations that I have to say to myself over and over and over again every single solitary day. Because on the day that I don't, that day can turn into a week. That week can turn into a month. That month can turn into a year. And that year can turn into an obituary. That's not an exaggeration. Most people who suffer through depression are people who live with thoughts of suicide all the time. Is that 100% true of everyone who does? No. There are, just like every other emotional state, there are degrees and feelings of suicide, feelings of worthlessness, of depression, of sadness, deep, profound sadness. For someone who doesn't feel it, it's very hard to understand the crushing depths of the kind of sadness that I'm talking about. Which is actually one of the reasons why I do poetry, why I choose writing and performance art to express myself, because sometimes using metaphor and imagery are the only ways that I can truly paint a picture to help people understand what I'm feeling when I write. Okay? And if you've ever read some of my darker poetry, those were written on a day when self-management on depressing days was just simply not possible, and it was my last recourse effort to purge that darkness out. Okay? At the end of every one of my videos, I always tell you to keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. People ask me why I say that. That's something I started saying years and years and years ago. Because once I understood what makes me different from other people and what makes other people like me different from other people, is that darkness isn't something that we invite into our hearts. It is something that already lives there. And I'm not talking about darkness in the way that most people talk about darkness and associate it with evil. I'm not talking about evil. I'm not talking about depravity. I'm talking about soul-crushing sadness and agony without depth, a despair that is unquantifiable. And it is a poison inside our souls that is killing us each and every day. And it takes an act of sheer will and the conscious choice, I will not die today, to keep us going. Every day. So when people tell me that, hey Matt, you look like you're in a bad mood, no fucking shit. But I'm not in an angry mood. I'm not in a dark mood. I have no desire or a need to hurt or make other people feel bad. In fact, I feel worse knowing that my mood can make somebody else feel bad. I don't want to be the cause of anyone else's pain. I cause enough of my own that I don't want to spread that. Does that make sense? If it does, get help, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Some people manage their depression with medication. Some people manage it with hours and hours of therapy. Some people manage it with alcohol, drugs, a shitload of sex. Some don't manage it and just sit alone in the dark and allow the shadows in their heart consume them until there's nothing left. My boss told me the other day that he actually didn't believe in depression, that he thinks that it's all bullshit, that it's all just a whiny, it's an excuse to feel bad, is that, you're just being a pussy, you're just being blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to say that that's 100% inaccurate, but it's 98% inaccurate. Because that 2% difference is the choice that we make between living and dying. And I'm not talking about just the body. Living and dying in my soul. Living and dying in my mind. Living and dying in my heart. Where the totality of what makes Maticus is on the precipice of an edge of a cliff that can crumble underneath my feet at any given time. And no matter how much I want to, I cannot bring myself to back away from the edge. Because the edge is the only place where I find any sanity, any clarity. It's where I feel at home. And it's something that I deal with all the time. And this is something that people who have depression deal with all the time. You ever see somebody with an incredible over-the-top personality and think to themselves, and you think to yourselves one of two things: wow, they're really cool, or man, they're kind of fucked up. Guess what? You're both right. You cannot be someone like me without being fucked up. You cannot be like most of the most brilliant writers, artists, comedians, actors, creators of the dream. You can't do that without being a little fucked up. And it's not a made-up illness. Sadness is not an emotion to us, it's life to us, and it's not something that we want. But like a tattoo, once you got it, it never goes away. All you can do is cover it up or ignore it. Okay, guys, look, I know this is a really heavy topic, and there's really no way to make it fun. Dear God, hey, did you ever about to do, guys, 2 Prozac and a Retinol, walked into a bar? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to make depression fun. If I could, I probably wouldn't be so depressed. But I think how I'm going to end it is this. If you suffer from depression, you know as well as I do that there are ways to manage it. And there are healthy ways to manage it. People who manage it with excessive drinking, excessive sex, excessive drugs, and sitting in the dark eating Cheetos and praying for their day to die, that's not the way to do it. You do it by choosing to be happy. You do it by finding the people that will that make you smile. Surround yourself with people who are positive. That helps out a shitload. Hanging out with other cynical sons of bitches bums me the hell out. People who are excessively negative on Instagram bum me out. People who are insanely negative on YouTube. Bum me out. I hate that shit. And so I distance myself from it because I can't be around it. All right. But I'm okay. Yeah, I'm depressed all the time, but I'm okay. But if you're suffering from depression, find a healthy way to manage it. And let me tell you, you're gonna be okay, but you have to choose to be. That's the catch. All right, you guys. All right. Well, listen, it's already been 15 minutes, and goddamn, let's have a good day, okay? If there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, I'm open to it. Leave them in the comments below. Please give this video a liker, and thank you for those who are subscribing. And please share these videos, and let's see if we can't bring more people into the community, okay? All right, well, keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I love you. I appreciate you. Laters.